Okay, hey guys. I totally forgot to start recording this, so my first find already has nothing on it. Anyways, yeah. So to cover this quickly, I ended up getting this game, and I already have this game. I have two copies of it, but the reason I got it was so that I can get the manual, and that was pretty much the whole reason. Like I already own it. I'm just gonna replace it. Uh, And it's not like I paid a lot of money for it too. I paid a whole $2 for this, and it's pretty much worth it when you're only gonna pay $2 and you're gonna replace it with a manual. It's perfect. It's perfect. All right, so that's the first thing. No, I am presenting the games right now. The second replacement is I'm getting a different case for this, so don't worry how the quality of the case is. It's Kingdom Hearts 2 replacing Kingdom Hearts 2 Greatest Hits. And once again, I don't really replace stuff over petty decisions like this, but the reason that I wanted to do this was because it was only a couple dollars. I only paid like $2 for this. And that's completely worth it in my book. You know, I could just go open this manual up. It's nice, it's beautiful, full color. It's just like, and it's almost exactly like the Greatest Hits too. There's almost no differences between them. Except the red label. Can you replace the battery on? Alright. The last game that I got from that little like group there was Dragon Ball Z Sagas. Now, usually when I see a game like this for like $2, I will pick it up. It's in good shape. Not the best shape in the world, but it's in good shape regularly. You know, it has the full manual. It's pretty nice actually. Let's take a look at this manual here. Alright, so it's in full color. It's got exploring. It looks more like a beat 'em up. It's weird. It looks more like a beat 'em up than anything. I never really played this game. It says an adventure of Saiyan proportions. Join the Z Warriors in their first ever action game as you complete the epic journey from the Saiyan saga through the Cell games. Battle their enemies, discover all new parts of the DBC story as you obliterate fully destructible environments, enter the world, and become a hero. So it's pretty cool stuff. Now, this is like unlock bonus areas and stuff like that, so I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure. But I think it will be a fun game. Because you can't really go wrong with Dragon Ball Z. If it's Dragon Ball Z, it's a fighting game, and that ain't too bad. Alright, so now that we got the PlayStation 2 stuff out of the way, and I told you there wasn't very much to it. There actually isn't very much to many of the things I have here. Just a lot of different stuff. You know, I got like Super Nintendo, Nintendo, 3DS, N64 stuff, PlayStation, Wii U, Xbox One, Game Boy Advanced, Game Boy Color. I got a whole bunch of crap. Yes, I didn't buy any PS4 because I'm waiting for good PS4 games that are cheap, that are getting cheaper. All right, so next up we're gonna do the Super Nintendo. You really just want to talk, don't you? I'm gonna kick
You
it.
thought he was dead.
I'm gonna kick him.
He's not dead.
I'm gonna kick it.
Horse fan.
Alright, so this next game sort of caught my eye because I remember somebody talking about it a while ago. And it was supposedly a very difficult game to figure out how to play, and I wholeheartedly agree. With the Super Nintendo, it's Populous. Now, Populous, if for the people who don't know, it's called a God game. Now, of course, in a God game, you take the role of God as you lead your people into victory. They have something like Black and White. If you ever played the PC game Black and White, it's a lot like this. Um, in premise, anyways. You gotta remember it's a Super Nintendo game, so if you try and fit something like an RPG into or RTS into a Super Nintendo game, you're gonna get a big mess. And that's exactly what happened here. It is a clutter. It was a massive clutter. When I put it in, there's like 50, not 50, but like 25 or 20 buttons that you have to figure out how to push or like figure out what to do with them. And all I could really do is like move them out and up and down. So I think this is a required manual. I have to get a manual for this before I play it. It's supposedly how it goes. Some aren't like that, but this one is. Alright, the next game on this list. Why now? Anyways, the next game I ended up getting up north over a month ago, and I actually asked my girlfriend to pick it up for me. Well, she was up there, and she was looking around, and she ended up finding this one, and then there was another game for the Super Nintendo. But I decided to go with this one, and it is called Star Fox. Now, of course, most people, if not all people, know what Star Fox is. You're basically a group of people, or a fox, and or I think you play as Falco, so the fox or Falco in this one. And you try and you go basically traverse through these levels in a railgun type shooter. Uh, Personally, even though I own two other ones, actually she owns one of them and I own the other one. These games are actually really fun, and I actually do enjoy them. Unfortunately, I haven't really finished any of them because I look at the amount of games I have there. It's only going to come if somebody recommends it. So if you want to see Star Fox, you want to see Star Fox 64 or Star Fox Zero, recommend it because that's how you're going to see it. All right. So next up is the NES games. And I actually only have two right here, not right now, and one of them is from Hudson Soft, and not many people heard of it. It's called Milan's Secret Castle. Now, this little NES title is basically you're a person, and this is what I got from the game. I didn't look at the manual, I don't have one to read it. You're basically a little boy of some kind who shoots bubbles. You go into a castle and you have to find secret doors and secret keys, and everything's a secret in this game. You gotta figure out everything to do. Oh, you're one of the several people waiting for Star Citizen? Ooh, I don't know, man. I don't know. So, yeah, this game was very cryptic. Um, I'm sure once again with the manual it would be much easier to traverse with, but for now, Milan's Secret Castle. The next one I found in a nice, decently good shape at a decent price. And you always have these sort of games where you know you should pick them up whenever you get the chance. And with this one, I have the chance. So I went for it. And this is Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Now, yeah, I know, there's a lot of people waiting for that. So, Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link is sort of the black sheep of the franchise. It is a direct sequel from the first game, The Legend of Zelda, and it basically goes into how people are trying to resurrect Ganon and you need to stop them. They have two versions of this, one in gold and the other in gray. So, of course, you always want to go for the gold. Go for gold. This is absolutely beautiful. So, yeah, there really isn't much else to say about this one. Like, it's in very good shape. It's nice and shiny and gold. There's very little amounts of scratching on it. It's quite a nice game. So I can't wait to get into that if I ever get a chance. And no, yeah, go for gold. You always go for gold. And I'm out of water. Should have got gold water. Would have been easier. It would have been easier. Okay, so let's see what we go with next here. Sorry if I'm going a little quickly through these games. I'm trying my best to describe them and say stuff about them, but man, it's just hard sometimes. Alright, yeah, let's do it that way. So, we have two Game Boy Color-ish type games. I think they're Game Boy Color anyways. Well, they're either Game Boy Color. Or maybe the hybrid of both. Who knows? I think they're Game Boy Color, though. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, I understand that, but this is also what I'm going to be putting up on YouTube, so. Alright. So these next two games, I ended up finding in the same place, and they're rather cheap. Both of them, anyways. And when I look at the cheaper games and you see something that you actually like, that's actually a decently good game, and it's cheap, I'm gonna buy it. And that's what I did. The first one is Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle 3. Now, Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle is a puzzle-type platformer, where you basically need to gather a whole bunch of keys and avoid, I think, like Daffy Duck and the Roadrunner and stuff like that. It's not a very complex game, but they do have several of them. They have one for the NES and then went over to the Game Boy, and I believe it just stayed on the Game Boy until they stopped making them. But it's a decent little series, and you gotta give it some credit. The next one is Conker's Pocket Tales. Now, for the ones in the world of deprived childhood, Conker is a big mascot for the N64. It was made by Rare, and it was one of the only rated M games that were really for the system. And this is its prequel. Now, when Rare made this, they actually made this child-friendly. So you see there, it's rated E for everyone. And this is how they ended up putting Conker on Diddy Kong Racing, before Conker's Bad Fur Day came out. So this is the reason. I'm going to be absolutely honest, I don't know much about this game. It looks like... yeah, E for everyone. I don't know much about this game, but I do know where it comes from and who made it. and it was cheap, so I picked it up. That's how I roll. If only I get manuals for this stuff. Once I get manuals for it and start getting some nice cases, it's gonna be perfect. Yes. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I love Game Boy Advance and Game Boy games. They're really awesome. And you know what? There's a lot of gems for them. Like they made some really good titles. It really sort of sucks that they sort of went into obscurity. Anyways, so the next two games on this list are sort of childhood games of mine. I had them when I was a kid. And that'll be Wario Land 3. Now, when I got this game, and for some reason I still have the manual for this, but even when I lost the game, and you're basically Wario seeing a crystal ball and getting sucked into the crystal ball, and then you need to traverse the land to try and get out. 100, I don't 100% remember the story, but that's what I remember seeing. It's a really neat game. And in Wario Land, when you... How can I put this? When you get attacked, you sort of change a little bit. You either turn into a zombie, you could eat like a donut and get fat and crush blocks. And... oh, wow, 200 games for the PlayStation 1? That's amazing. Man, I wish I could get in on that. I'm just kidding. I bet they're precious memories. I'll never stomp on anyone's precious memories. It's for them, and they'll remember for the rest of their lives. The next childhood game of mine here is Pokemon Pinball. Now, I actually played a lot of Pokemon Pinball when I was a kid. You know, I even used the vibration pack and stuff, and I ended up losing the game as well. Now, for ones who have been once again deprived of a childhood and never had a Game Boy, um, it has a rumble pack, and when you actually hit particular points, yes, deprived of a childhood that didn't have a Game Boy. Yes, you were deprived of a childhood. I already know this. Anyways, it has a rumble pack on it, and it's just neat. I love it. It's just a pinball game for Pokemon, and then you actually have to try and capture them, and I love it. It's not any complicated game by any means. All right, so the next three games here are all Game Boy Advance games, and I have a little bit of a story to go with this one. So, so on one of the Facebook groups that I'm on right now, there was a post that came up, and he was listing a whole bunch of like PlayStation 2 games that were just very meh, and then he ended up throwing up these three Game Boy games as well. And it was sort of like an off note for him. He's like, yeah, these three Game Boy games are like $2 a piece. And when I got around to seeing it, I already saw that somebody messaged him on it. And so I sort of am like, ah, crap, they're already gonna get to it before me. And I said for fun, I just sort of messaged him again, and he said, yeah, they're still available, $2 a piece for a total of $6. Well, I had $7 in my pocket, and I freaking left work as quickly as I could to go pick this up in time, because he said he had to get going by 5. And I was afraid that I wasn't going to get my chance to get these games again. So I got onto the highway, and there was an accident, and I ended up getting pretty much as late as I possibly could, and he was still there. So I was able to get these games for like $2 a piece. So just keep that in mind as I show them off. So I'll go from worst to best. I don't think you can compare the last two. I don't think they're really comparable. Anyways, so the first one is Lord of the Rings: The Third Age. Now, I'm going to be absolutely honest. The only reason I picked up this game was because I would feel bad not picking it up with the other two games. If I only got the two and then just left one of them there, I would feel sort of like a jackass. So I just, you know what, I'll pay the $2. I'll get the Lord of the Rings, the Third Age. Now, when I popped this in and tried it, it's actually not an RTS, but like a strategy RPG, as in where you'll collect, points from your people, like the heroes you have, and then you can summon have other people on the field, comparing to how many points your commanders have. So it was pretty neat, and you could either play as like the good guys or the bad guys. It was pretty cool. Now, the reason that I was running for this deal were these two games here. The first one, it's Mega Man Battle Network 6. And it is Cybeast Gregor. That is really high quality. I'm shaking my hand right now. Now, Mega Man's Battle Network is basically a game not like the other Mega Mans. You're basically on like a 9x9 grid, and you have these cards that you can use to shoot down your enemies. And sort of like a action RPG like environment. And it's really cool. Like, you get upgrades, you get stuff like that, and you basically play as a boy and his cyber friend, Mega Man, which sort of like help out in this entire tech-heavy world. Okay, that's not that loud. You guys can live with that. So, at the moment, I have Mega Man Battle Network 3, White, and 5, Proto Man, Team Proto Man. So this will be the third one that I got. Now I'm really hoping to get the first one so I can sort of play through them all. But, I take them where I get them, and for $2, I think I got them all for $2 so far. I don't think I actually paid anything more for that. The other game that I got was sort of the one that I sort of jumped for joy for, because I never really owned this series before. I never thought about it too much, and even being a strategy RPG sort of person, I'm surprised I ever actually tried it. And that's Fire Emblem, the Sacred Stones. Now, Fire Emblem is a strategy RPG where you control, like, a bunch of people, and it's almost like the Lord of the Rings, the Third Age, the way I described it. Except not people, everyone has a point value, they just, you have a certain amount of people you can put on the field at once. I don't know anything about this game. I don't know any of the little fine details of it, I just know it's a strategy RPG. And I know it's the second one in the series. And I lost focus on it. It's losing focus. I'll just hide behind it. No, it's not doing anything. Okay, well, and I know it's the second one in the series, but man, like I said, for $2 a piece for these 3 games, I got myself a good deal, and I'm very happy with it. The next things I want to show are for the Wii U and the Xbox One. So I'll go ahead and start off with the Wii U stuff. And I'll grab this one first. So the first one that I got, and as anyone who owns a Wii U know, that Amiibo Festival was a joke. It was a joke. Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. It was sort of like a weird knockoff of Mario Party and crap like that. But they lowered the price so much, and then they offered a free Amiibo with it. So I decided to get it. And here it is. Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. Now, if you actually look at the top of my shelf over there, that right there, you'll see the box up there. And with it came these 2 Amiibos. I don't know what they're named. Do they have their name under here? Oh, well. Okay, I have this dude. Nope. I have this dude. This dude. Or girl. Or it. And I think this thing's called Lola, but I'm not sure. And this is the only one I remember because this was the free one. We got this for free when we bought the game. And I was like, you know what? For a collector like me, I'm gonna go for it because why the hell not? You know, I get 3 free amiibos pretty much for $15. And to be honest, there's really nothing else to say about that. I probably should get some cards in the future or something of the like, so that maybe I could play all the games. But I feel like I don't want to give Nintendo money for having a bad idea. Also, one second, I want to mute my mic here. Alright, sorry about that. I had to, like, attack my ice. Need to fill that back up. Alright. So the next thing on that was Waluigi. Now, there is a story behind this one because I really and this goes back a little bit farther. When my sister owned Mario Party 8 for the Wii, she always played Waluigi, and she was always like Waluigi the winner and stuff like that, and it was sort of like an ongoing joke, and because of that, I wanted to get a Waluigi, but by the time I ended up seeing it, it was all gone. So I told Bleached Out beside me that if I ever see a Waluigi again, I am going to buy it. And I found one, and I bought it. And luckily, it wasn't like a full price one. It wasn't like $15. It was only like $10. So, you know, I didn't lose out too much. But, damn it, and he's fly. Look at that. It's worth every penny. Waluigi's the best Luigi. 30 each? Maybe. The next one for the Xbox One is another one that was on sale for a while. And this is one that Bleached Out ended up getting. Because it was on sale. Almost purely, and because it was like one of 5 exclusives for the Xbox One. And that would be Halo 5, the limited edition. Ooh, wow. Everything got deleted. One sec. It doesn't like when you post links. You're gonna have to personal message me that, but I got it right here. Print screen. What is it? I own Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, and I traded it for something else, and I don't remember what. That's still too expensive. I don't remember any of the other games. Metabots, Metroid, Narnia, Fire Emblem. No, I don't own any of the other games, and I've never played them. But Final Fantasy Tactics Advance is one that I did play. Anyways, back to Halo 5. So, this Halo 5 comes with a few things here, and I'll go ahead and list it out here. So, oh, yeah. I don't want to open it. Okay. Well, I guess I'll open it up then. So it comes with a slip. Of course, it's in a nice steelbook cover here. Opening it up, smells like new. You have, of course, Halo 5 on disc. And this is a model of something. What is it? It is a Guardian model. Yeah. It like once you build it, it's just gonna you're never gonna be able to get it back in here. Yeah, back to Halo 5. So yeah, this thing has its slip and how to build it and such, but I'm not really gonna open it up. But it's right here. It's the Guardian, and you have to assemble it yourself. You also get orders that it said. Spartan locks classified orders, which are right here. And that is the French side of classified orders. And it looks like it's nonsense. I have it for the NES. And some classified dossiers. That's what they said. And game add-on content from the store, which I'm not going to show on the screen here. I think you have to scratch the code. Okay, I'm just going to do the little top part then. There it is. Add-on content. A 14-day trial of Xbox Gold. And a warning label. Do not hurt yourself while playing games.
Why?
Yeah, don't hurt yourself playing games. It is bad for you. I don't want to open this. Did you already open this thing? Okay, well I'm not going to open it then, because this is hers and she can open it whenever she wants. There are dossiers on Blue Team and Fire Team Osiris. It's these things down here.
Yay.
Anyway, I don't know what that is either. I never grew up on Xbox. I own like 3 Halos now, and I have no idea about any of them.
I never played that one yet.
Well, why don't you play Halo 1 through Halo 5?
Eh.
I'll make you. Yeah, this is what's in this limited edition. Now, man, I really wish I was in the Halo 5, but I never was. Maybe I would if I played everything, but it's not me, man. It's just not me. Alright. I gotta place this somewhere. Yeah, got too many games. 40. I don't know, it's like one of the most sold games on the GameCube. Why the hell is it $40? Y'all bunch of rich bastards. Alright, so the next two. I've been waiting to get the first Gears of War. I've been looking for it, and for some reason I'm having a lot of trouble finding it. You want to go for it? Tell them you can't pick them up until Sunday. Yeah, I'm waiting for the first Gears of War to be able to keep going with Gears of War. It's just, that's just how I like to work. I like to be able to play it one by one and keep going. I don't like jumping halfway into it. Unless it's like a whole different game in itself. Alright, so moving on. I have 2 games for the 3DS. And our local Best Buy actually had these sort of like on clearance. They were trying to get rid of them. and they knocked everything off by like $10 or $15. So we decided to pick up a couple like more hard to get sort of copies while we could. The first one is Yoshi's Woolly World and Poochie. Now, this one came in a box, a larger box, wherever we could find it. It's in the room. Okay, it's in the other room, and I don't want to go get it because I'm lazy. So, it basically has this, and it is, in all essence, Yoshi's Woolly World with a bunch of extra stuff. And the extra stuff, it says... Oh, it also comes with Poochie. Knit. 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 Okay. Oh, I just like took it out of focus. I totally took it out of focus there. So you get a lot more fun with amiibo figures, so you get a lot more stuff out of it. It's pretty much the same levels, but you get the right Poochie, and there are some Poochie-specific levels, which are added content. There we go. See, she could explain it much better than I did. The other game was one that I actually got, and I kept looking at the game, and I'm like, that game looks so adorable, I want to play it. And that is actually Chibi Robo Ziplash. Now, the reason I picked this game over the other ones that were on sale there, and there was a lot on sale I could have picked from, the reason was because of the amiibo. You get a Chibi Robo amiibo. Now, yes, he is adorable. He's absolutely adorable. You look at him right there, he just looks at you back, he's like, hi. And those plugs are impossibly too big to fit into a wall. And I think they made that on purpose. So their kids don't actually try and plug it into the wall. Yeah. Anyways, there really isn't much plot to this game. Number one Getsu fan. Oh, you're late. I'm already 44 minutes into my game finds. Already 44 minutes. 44, it's 9:44. It's been a long day for you, hasn't it? Yeah. Anyways, you're on like a spaceship, and you're like cleaning it, and then you see a bunch of aliens stealing all their natural resources. And then you're like, we're gonna stop these robots, and that's the game. You start doing stuff. I don't know, Amazon? See, the way I look for games in how I game hunt is that I look for the physical copy. I don't really go through Amazon, I don't really go online unless I have to. You know, unless I really, really have to. Yeah, and it's sort of a journey. We get to go out every weekend. We get to go to all the game stores, all the thrift stores, and just see what we find. And it's some of the coolest experiences ever because, you know, it's not $50. It's like $25. But yeah, so I only have 3 games left, and they're heavy hitters. They all are. So, going on to these, so there's a sale going on at one of the game stores. You buy one and you get the other one 50% off. Now, he was in an absolute dilemma on 2 games to get. And there were like 2 separate games too. It was hilarious. Yeah, for 2 separate systems. And we sort of convinced her to go with these 2 just because we're probably not going to find them like this again. I don't look for the game specifically, Kodama. Well, what's the price of it? I feel like it should be $1. No, I don't want the Gears of War Ultimate Edition. I want the original Gears of War. I want the OG experience. With all of its flaws and everything. Anyways, so she was having a really hard time trying to find out exactly what these games, which one they get. And we sort of convinced her to go with the two older games. And if we're talking about her buying them, we pretty much already know what it is. Mario Party 2 and Mario Party 3. Now, as you know, we've been trying to get our hands on all the Mario Parties. Yeah. And I think, we're missing 1, 5, and 10 now. So we're down to about 3 left to get. And, we found these and they're in really, really good shape. Like, you look at, we got these in covers right now, but if you look at it, like, there's no scratches, no fading. It's in really, really good shape. There's no dirt on them. And there was a marker spot in the back, but we got that off pretty easily. Mario Party 3 was the same way, and I think they were owned by the same person as well. No scratches, no problems. Yeah, and we already own the manual for one of them. We own it for Mario Party 2. And we're looking at getting some custom game cases for this stuff. And they're absolutely, I hope they're beautiful looking. Now, this last game here, I was looking for a very, very, very long time. And, my own little stupid self could have probably just ordered it online anyways. But I persisted to look for the physical copy in a store. And I even found it, fully sealed and everything too, but it was too much money for me, so I kept looking for another copy. And it brings back memories. It really does. And it's not even a childhood game. I played this from a demo. Now, it was the PlayStation, I think it was either the PlayStation Underground or the Walmart PlayStation Underground demo. And you are it's basically a standard RPG, except you use different combos of attacks to beat your enemies. And that is Legend of Legaia. Now, my memories of this game was the demo, and you basically got all 3 characters right off the bat. Not like the game, it was just sort of for the demo, and you basically use the combo system. Like, you can punch, kick, right, left, bottom, kick, uppercut, do a whole bunch of stuff, and then you can actually make combos. So let's say it was your turn, and you got a bar this big, and then you would put punch, kick, uppercut, kick again. And then you could do particular combos that do a whole lot more damage. The premise of the game is very simple. You find yourself in a village, and for hundreds of years the human race was working with these things called the Seru. These Serus are supposedly a gift from God and would obey any command that the humans would give them. So that helped them build their railways, their kingdoms, made them really powerful. Well, one day this thing called the Mist came, and they all turned evil and started killing all the humans. And so all the humans that were surviving sort of left and encaved themselves in their own little areas around these trees called the generation trees. Now, what people didn't know is that these generations trees also held a Seru, but something called a raw Seru. And the raw Seru is basically a Seru with a mind of its own. It's allowed to do what it wants. It talks to people. It takes the form of different things. And the regular Mist and Seru hate these things, so they keep attacking, and yeah. And you end up lifting the Mist of your area and start going off on your own adventure. So, like I said, the whole story is okay, but man, this came from my memories. I played that demo so many freaking times, You know, I worked my way out of that town at least 15 times playing that demo. I thought it was the coolest damn stuff ever. It was so awesome. So I'm really, really excited to play this. And I hope somebody picks it. I hope somebody picks it that or wants me to play it next. And I'm probably going to have to do it myself because nobody really remembers this game. You know, I search it up and there's maybe like 5 or 10 videos, some Let's Plays, but like there's no real popular people who looked at that game. Seriously. And I really wish they did. I really wish it would get more popularity. Now that I own it, and the price can go up now. I don't care. So yeah, that is all. That is all I have. Now, just to recap, for number one Getsu fan, because he's my bro. I'm going to recap the games really quickly, just to show him, and for anyone who did not care and went to the end of the YouTube video. I do that sometimes. So, games that are being replaced. I am replacing regular Kingdom Hearts with Kingdom Hearts. Well, I'm replacing Greatest Hits with the regular Kingdom Hearts. I'm giving it a new case, don't worry. The other two is Final Fantasy VII, Dirge of Cerberus. One's upside down. The reason I'm replacing it is because one has a manual and one does not. And for $2, I'm not saying no. The game that is being added to the PlayStation 2 library is Dragon Ball Z Sagas. Now, it's just a fighting game, and there really isn't too much to it. It's Dragon Ball Z. And another addition to what I have. Next are 2 Game Boy games. Oh, actually, a few Game Boy games. One would be Crazy Castle 3, Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle 3 to be more exact. Nice little puzzle game for kids. And it started on the NES, and it kept going and going, and I think there's like 4 or 5 of them now. And it's just a lot of the same game. But it's basically a puzzle game where you collect keys, try to get up through doors, and avoid Daffy Duck. Daffy Duck. Conker's Pocket Tales. It is a sort of a top-down perspective type game. I don't know very much about it, but I know it is the precursor to Diddy Kong Racing and Conker's Bad Fur Day. Reasons for Diddy Kong Racing is because he's actually a character in it. My voice is dry. It's drying up. Water me. Thank you. Next, Pokemon Pinball. Childhood game. Simple pinball game. The reason I got this one was because the cover is still on it. It breaks off very easily and it's well mixed. The other childhood game is Wario Land 3. Wario Land 3 is sort of a platformer game where you actually take on different elements from getting hit or eating donuts and getting too fat. And you collect a lot of money and it's very fun. I didn't get very far in it because I was a stupid dumb child. Next, Amiibo Festival. Because it was cheap. And I got a bunch of Amiibos. And they are this thing, and this thing. There we go. So yeah, things.
Thing 1, thing 2, and thing 3.
The other one is Halo 5 Limited Edition. It is upside down again. Halo 5 Limited Edition. We got it because it was on sale and limited. Limitedly cheap. I told you it was upside down. I don't even know where to place this stuff. No, don't drop them. They're not valuable. Next, Waluigi, because Waluigi is the winner. That's it. Next, Populous.
Look it up.
Yeah, don't look it up. Nobody knows about this game, and anyone who says it is bad. They also don't own a manual and don't know how to play this game themselves, and they are also bad. He probably is pretty pissed. He is an amiibo after all. I don't know. Anyways, has a lot of buttons, a lot of things that you don't know about. You need a manual to play this game. And we will get a manual at some point in our lives. Star Fox. Do I really need to say much about Star Fox? Literally gave 3D graphics on a system that was not supposed to have 3D graphics. Revolutionary. Star Fox. There's really nothing else to say about that. That is the oldest and first Star Fox.
And the newest.
And the one in between. We got the best one, the earliest one, and the latest one. If you want to put it that way. Next, Balin's Secret Castle. That secret is not an exaggeration. Everything's a secret in this game. You have to find the doors, you have to shoot bubbles at doors, you have to find your keys, you have to go into frickin' hidden walls. Literally, Secret Castle. There is nothing much else to this. Though, it was pretty fun when I played it, because you could shoot the bubbles up and down. Melons. Yes, Melons or Melons. I have no idea. Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. It's really shiny, go for gold. Gold is nice. It was a very good condition game. I'm going to look for the manual for it when I can. Nicely gold on both sides. Black sheep of the franchise. Side scroller. Zelda 2. Oh, I forgot to go through the GBA games. Well, doing it now. Lord of the Rings. Bought it because I had to. Strategy RPG. Pleasantly surprised as a strategy RPG. Game still looked bad. Maybe good at the time, but it looked bad to me. You shouldn't use 3D sprites on a Gameboy Advance. I'm telling you people right now, it's not good for you. Mega Man Battle Network 6. Bought it because it was $2. Worth like $25. This thing is awesome, and I own 3 of them now. Not 3 of the same game, 3 of the same franchise. Hopefully I will get them all someday, but I will never pay more than $2 for them, because will be breaking my record. I want to buy them all for $2. And you know what? I'm on a roll so far. I got 3, 5, and 6 all for $2 so far. Damn right. Next, Fire Emblem and the Sacred Stones. Strategy RPG. Better looking than Lord of the Rings. Still $2. Probably the best find I had all week. All last month, actually. It's the second in the franchise, not the first. I thought it was the first, and now I feel like a moron. Mario Party 1. Mario Party 2. Basically Mario Party 1, but you get hats. Yeah, it's the best one because you get hats. Don't you see the cowboy hat? Difference. With big M on it. You'll get one eventually. Mario Party 3 because we got them together. Damn right. And we only need 1, 5, and 10 to complete it. See, this is why I need you around sometimes. It's nice and clean. It's Mario Party. Everyone knows what Mario Party is. Please don't lie. Until you found out what Mario Party is, and now you're getting them all. See, this is what happens when you find out what Mario Party is at a late age. You just start collecting them. Next, Yoshi's Woolly World. With Poochie. Same, yeah, see, there you go. And there's Poochie levels, and then you get to play Poochie, and you get to ride Poochie, and you have Poochie.
I got all 3
Poochie.
Yoshis and
I think we just bought it for Poochie, to be honest. Alright, next.
Time I go to Best Buy.
Yeah, so now she owns it, hasn't played it yet.
Yep.
Because this is how we work. Next, Chibi Robo Zips Ziplash. Bought it because it was on sale. Also bought it because we're never going to find the actual package of this thing again. Once these things go out, they're gone. You're never going to get them again. No, I did not tell them the story of Mario Tennis. We'll do this after I'm speed running this stuff. You get this adorable bastard. He's an adorable bastard.
And the plug is too big. Well.
And the plug is too big and you can't put it into the wall. You really, really need to put that out there.
That's smart. I would have put it in the wall if I was a kid.
This is why they design these things. Legend of Legaia. Saw this for months. Wanted it for years. Finally got it. Probably paid too much for it. And that's it. We got it all.
Done. Boom.
Beautiful. Alright. And that's it. No, I'm never taking out a full screen. You're going to see yourself on beautiful widescreen.